Hello everyone. I am Dr. Suchi Kumari, an assistant professor at Bennett University. So today's topic of discussion is Introduction to Multi-Layer Networks. So in multi-layer networks, we divide a network into multiple layers, and the total number of layers depends on the parameters we are selecting to divide the network. So we will study what are the various terms that we can use to represent the multi-layer networks. So this one is the outline of the presentation. So first I'll discuss about the need of multi-layer networks, then representation of multi-layer networks, types of multi-layer networks, multi-layer network matrices, and multi-layer network constraint and challenges, then references. So in most of the real world systems, a set of entities interact with each other in a complicated pattern. So that can encompass multiple types of relationships, change in time, and include other types of complications as well. So such types of systems include multiple subsystems and layers of connection, and it is important to take such multi-layer features into account to improve the understanding of complex systems. So earlier, the normal complex system representation was not coping up with to capture all these aspects of phenomena of the real network. So to address all these kind of layers in subsystem, we need multi-layer network. So we need to generalize traditional network to study the multi-layer systems in a very comprehensive fashion. So as the popularity of the multi-layer network increases with time, so network scientists have directed their interest to the time-varying and multi-layer networks. Next thing is like representation of multi-layer networks. So in multi-layer network, we consider three things: nodes, edges, and set of layers. So nodes may belong to any subset of layer, and those nodes may connect pairwise with the nodes in any of the layers. So if two nodes in the same layer are connected, then we can call it as like intra-layer connection. If two nodes at different layer are connected, then we call it like interlayer connections. So if we consider a layer alpha and a layer beta, so a node U in layer alpha may connect to the node V in layer beta. So an MLN can be represented as M equal to GC. So M is a like multi-layer network where G is like set of graphs at different layer and C is like interlayer connection. So G can be represented as G alpha, where alpha will range from 1 to L. So L is the total number of layers here. So G is like family of graphs G alpha, and each G alpha means a network at each layer alpha can be represented with the help of total number of nodes and set of links in that layer alpha. As I told, C is the cross layer connections. So cross layer connections between two layer G alpha and G beta can be represented with the help of E alpha beta. So E alpha beta contains a connection between node in node set at layer G alpha and node set at layer G beta. So alpha beta will be the element of any of the layer, that those layer may be anyone that is ranging from 1 to L. And alpha beta should not be equal. Okay, C contains cross layer elements. An element of each E alpha is like interlayer connection at layer G alpha, and E alpha beta is like interlayer connection between layers alpha and beta, and alpha and beta are not equal. X alpha is like total set of nodes in layer alpha. So here total number of nodes at layer alpha is like n alpha. So it will range from 1 to n alpha. Number of nodes may be different at different layers, but in the basic multi-layer network representation, set of nodes are considered as same in all the layers. So adjacency matrix of each layer G alpha can be denoted as A alpha, and A alpha is set of uh, connection in that layer alpha. So here Aij alpha is the matrix element of A alpha, and the value of this element will be any real number in that layer alpha. So the value of Aij alpha will be n if node xi at layer alpha is connected to node xj at layer alpha. Otherwise, the value of Aij will be 0. If you want to find out the adjacency matrix of interlayer connection corresponding to E alpha beta, then we can denote it like A alpha beta equal to Aij alpha beta, where uh, the value will be formed by connecting nodes in the layer alpha and layer beta. So Aij alpha beta will be 1 if node xi at layer alpha is connected to node xj at layer beta. Otherwise, the value will be 0. So the value of ij can be anything between 1 to n, because n is the total number of nodes in any of the layers. And alpha beta is like layer information, so the value of the alpha beta will range from 1 to n. So an MLN is called as node aligned or fully interconnected if all the layers contains all the node in the MLN. So that is fully interconnected. An MLN is called as layer disjoint if each layer contains distinct nodes. So these are the types of, means you can call MLN any of these kind of, means through any of any this means the name, node aligned or layer disjoint, whatever you can call it, based on the means some constraint. So this one is the representation of the MLN, where here there are two layers A and B and two time instances X and Y. Okay, so layer A, if nodes in layer A is connected with each other, so that those connections are called as intra-layer connection, and nodes in B is connected, then it is called as intra-layer connection. And if node in layer A is connected to node B in layer B, then this connection is known as interlayer connection. Similarly, nodes in layer X is connected to nodes in layer Y, that one is also called as interlayer connection. Similarly, node in layer A is connected to node in layer A at time Y, then this one is also called as interlayer connection. So here the network structure at time X is like this one, and network structure at time Y is like this one. So here each node can be represented, and the connection between node can be represented in monoplex network is like this. So suppose in monoplex network you want to show all the connection between layer A and B at time X and at time Y. So how you can represent these multi-layer connection in equivalent monoplex layer connection. So you can show by doing this. So here node 1 at layer A at time X is connected to node 2 at layer A at time X. So there is a solid link here between 1AX and 2AX. Similarly, 1BX, 4BX, 3BX are nodes at layer B and the connection at time X. And node 1AX is connected to 1BX. that is interlayer connection. So it is shown by dotted line. Similarly, nodes in layer B, node 1 in layer B at time x is connected to node node 1 at layer B at time y. So there is a connection between one big X and one big Y. So by doing this, you can represent multi-layer network into an equivalent monoplex network. So now I just want to discuss about the types of multi-layer network. So first one is like multiplex network. So an multi-layer network where each layer has same number of nodes and a node X in layer alpha connects to the same node X in layer beta. Suppose here in this figure there are total 5 nodes at each layer. Okay, so in the intra-layer connection between node, any node can connect to any of the other node. But when we want to form inter-layer connection, what will happen? Node 1 at layer A will always connect to the node 1 at layer B, and node 1 at layer B will always connect to node 1 at layer C. So this one is like interlayer connection, constant on interlayer connection in multiplex network. Second one is like temporal network. So temporal network is like structure of the network at different time instances. So how you will represent temporal network in the form of multi-layer network, we can see here. Here there are total 3 graphs at various time instances. So time instances are here 1, 2 and 3. So G1 is like graph at time instance 1, G2 is like graph at time instance 2 and G3 is like graph at, at time instance 3. So if I want to represent graph at means each time instance, so graph at each time instance will form a layer here. So G1 is like connection of the node at time instance 1 at layer 1 here, then G2 and G3. So in temporal network, 2 subsequent layer can be connected. That means G1 can't be directly connected to G3. First G1 has to connect with G2, then only G2 will connect to G3. So this one is like temporal edges between G1 and G2 and G2 and G3. Next one is like interacting or interconnected networks. So if there is a family of networks that interact with each other, then they can be modeled as multi-layer network. So uh, total all the interconnected networks will form a layer in the multi-layer networks. Here there are two interconnected networks, G1 and G2. So in the multi-layer network, there will be two layer here G1 and G2, and connection between all the node in a layer will be shown through the solid line, and connection between the nodes in different layer is shown through dashed line here. Next one is like multi-dimensional network. So we can say here there is additional term dimension here. So graph will be like set of vertices, set of edges and set of dimensions here. So a multi-dimensional network G can be modeled as the form of multiplex network by mapping each label to a layer. So here you can see that E alpha is like a connection between the node at layer alpha. So the dimension will be used to represent a layer. Okay, so dimension value of the dimension will range from 1 to the size of the dimension. And E alpha beta is like connection between same nodes. Suppose node 1 wants to connect to the node 1 in the next dimension. So this one will be like the interlayer connection. Next one is interdependent or layered network. So it is a collection of different networks where nodes from one layer of the network depends on the control of the nodes in a different layer. So it is a kind of representation where dependency or additional edges connected to the different layers. So similarly to the case of the multidimensional network, we can consider interdependent network as a multi-layer network, and we can represent with the help of multiplex network. Next one is like hyper network or hypergraphs. So here multiple hypergraphs are connected, uh, and these can be represented with the help of multi-layer network. So here there are three hypergraphs and a set of nodes are there and a family of hypergraphs are here. So here in H1 hypergraph 1 there are four nodes x1, x2, x3 and x4. So they are internally connected and they are connected with another hyperlink graph that is shown at layer 3 or layer 2. So we can connect all the link uh, at the various layer to represent in a multi-layer. So multi-layer network matrices. So these are the matrices that can be used to characterize the structure of the multi-layer network. So these parameters are very helpful to study the various functionality of the multi-layer network. First one is like degree of that multi-layer nodes in the multi-layer network. Neighborhood means which one is your neighbor and how important your neighbor is. Then centrality, how much you are important in the network or how much you are central in the network. This parameter will show that value. Then we can find out walk, paths and distances of the nodes in the network. Then we can find out clustering coefficient or transitivity of the nodes in the network. So now I just want to discuss about the challenges of the multi-layer network. So we know that multi-layer network helps to understand the complex system. So it is very challenging to design such an efficient multi-layer network. So we need to collect good data if we want to design an efficient multi-layer network. Then we need to we need require genuine interlayer diagnostic. We need general results in dynamical process, means how multi-layer network will behave when some dynamical process is happening there. Then we have to study many models uh, beyond the usual percolation model if we want to study the flow of information or flow of data in that multi-layer network. So these were all about the basic things that is related to multi-layer network. Final references are given from where I have picked the material. Okay, thank you.